Good evening. Hi to you. It's evening here in Israel, and I'm glad to talk with you, to share with you my story and few comments about the situation in Israel. My name is Noam Tibon. I was born and raised in Kibbutz Tzorah. Kibbutz Tzorah was built by my parents, Yoav and Eliza Tibon. Both of them grew up in Jerusalem under the British mandate. They fought in the 48 war, and then they built their kibbutz in order to guard the road to Jerusalem. Most of the kibbutzim was built along the borders of Israel. And basically, if you look today at the map of Israel, you can see that from the north, Manara and Rosh Hanikra, all the way to the south, the border was built by the kibbutzim. I believe that, I grew up in a kibbutz. I got kibbutznik education. I'm a Zionist. And basically, I believe that those people who live in the kibbutzim today are pioneers, and I highly, highly respect it. Actually, after one of the operations in Gaza, when young people left the kibbutzim, my son, Amir, decided to go with his then girlfriend, today his wife, to live in Nachal Oz, which is a symbol of kibbutz on the border of Gaza, few meters from the border. And we highly respected. They were married there, and they grew up there. There are two, my granddaughters, Galia, which is 3.5 years old, and Carmel, which is 1.5 years old. And I believe that the attack on the kibbutzim is not only an attack on population. This is also an attack on the idea of Zionism, of working the land, protecting the borders. And basically what Hamas tried to do is to tell us, we will attack your land. And this is something which is tough, but we are going to win this war. I will jump into my personal story and then a few words about the situation in Israel. But I know that all of you in the US are very worried about Israel. I can guarantee you, we have a strong military force, and we are going to win this war. It's not going to be an easy battle, but we're definitely going to win it. On Saturday, basically, I live in Tel Aviv. So I did what Tel Aviv is, doing. My wife and I, Gali, woke up early in the morning and we went to swim in the sea. We have beautiful beaches in Tel Aviv. We saw jets in the sky, and I told Gali, it's strange. But, we went and swim. In the middle of the swimming, we heard sirens. So we went to our car. I opened my cellular phone, and basically I had a text message from my son Amir, who lives in Nachal Oz, basically said, Dad, there are terrorists in the kibbutz around my house. This is not good news. And basically, since then, my wife and I were in a mission. We rushed to our home. We changed very fast. I took my pistol, and basically we were driving south in our Jeep. Gali was driving, and I was working with the phone. I chat to all the commanders of the IDF, Chief of Staff, Herzi Halevi, the Southern Command Commander, and the Division Commander. All of them were under my command. I know them personally. Basically, I told them there are terrorists around my son's house in Nachal Oz. Meanwhile, I was chatting with Amir, and basically I told him two things. Amir, get into the security room, lock the door, stay there and be quiet, and don't get outside of the room. Then I got another text message which basically said, Dad, I think there is a terrorist on the inside the house. And I continue to say the same, instructions. And we were rushing from Ashkelon. We were the only car on the road. And basically, when we enter Shderot area, suddenly we found ourselves in a different world. In the middle of the main road, there was a battle between Israeli policemen and terrorists in a very short distance. The policeman, he waved me with the hand, go away, it's very dangerous here. We did a U-turn, we understood that this road is blocked. And basically, while we are doing this U-turn, I saw two people running, scared to death from the bushes. I entered them to the car. There were two people from one of the parties. They were shaking, crying. I gave them some water, and I told them,
you have to explain the parties. No,
Yossi, don't disturb me. Don't disturb me.
Okay.
I told them, come, get on the car. I will take you to a safe place. I put them in the Jeep. We turned around, and I took them to Ashkelon. And then we came with a different road. We came on a different road east of Shderot. Basically, a few kilometers afterward, we found a police checkpoint. Two police cars were blocking the road. And basically, they said, you cannot go from here. It's risky. And I said, listen, guys, there are terrorists in my son kibbutz. I'm retired general. They knew who am I. I'm very famous in Israel. And they said, no, you cannot go. We are not allowed. And then they said something which basically light me up. They said, don't worry. The military is taking care of everything. And because I served so many years in the military, I already knew that nothing is working and the military is not functioning anymore. So from that on, I told you I was in a mission. So we get on the side road between the field, we bypass this checkpoint. There was another checkpoint. We just rushed through, and when they pointed gun to us, the policemen, we just told them, if you want to shoot us, shoot. We don't care. We are going to save our kids. And then we came to Shderot Junction, and this was a war zone. Many cars on the ditches, on the road, bodies all over lying. Suddenly I saw cars with Gaza license. And I understood it's much bigger than what I thought. And it was hard to text with Samir. They got off, they lost their batteries. So we continue with the instructions, and basically we continue to go south. This was the battle zone. They were shooting all the time. So Gali was driving and I was with a pistol. When we came to the gate of Mefalsim, the kibbutz, in the middle of the road to Nahal Oz, basically there was a battle there on the gate between Yamam, elite police force, and terrorists. We stopped the car and we jumped to a shelter that was near the bus station. We waited there until they finished the shooting, and then I came to the team. I said, listen, my son is in danger. Come and help me. Come with me. Take me in your armored jeep. Let's go save them. And all the guys said, let's do it. But their commander started to say, no, I need permission. I need orders. He started, hello. I understood, it's not going to work. And I didn't have time to it. So I asked who is willing to come with me? And then was a brave soldier. He was already wounded, not badly, but wounded. And he said, no, I was under your command. I'm coming with you. So he jumped on my jeep. We left Gali in this shelter. And we rushed. We were the only car on the road, and they were shooting all the time, and bodies, burning cars all over. When we came to Sad Junction, which is basically near Kibbutz Nahal Oz, I saw helos, Israeli helos, and I was afraid that they will think that we are a terrorist because it was a private car. So we waited there until there will come a military force. Suddenly I saw a military vehicle, and I asked them to join me all the way to Nahal Oz. Again, they understood who am I, they knew me, and they said, okay, we will follow you. You will go first, we will follow you. So I'm jumping and driving to Nahal Oz, and then, about 1 kilometer before the gate, there was an ambush by the terrorists, and we saw, again, a battle between Israeli troops on a jeep that was on the side of the road and terrorists. I stopped my car, I jumped with my pistol and with this brave guy, and I rushed into them. I checked, 3 of them were already dead. One of them was Chen Buchis, the deputy of Maglan unit. One of them was Iftach, he was another officer, and Afik, a brave soldier. At that moment, I became a soldier because there was shooting between 5 terrorists in a very short distance. I took the rifle of Chen. He had a telescope, which I knew. And, I took his helmet. I pointed at one terrorist. I killed him. I pointed at the other one. He fell down. And, on this battle we had from the paratroopers who came with me, 3 wounded, one of them badly wounded in the bullet in the belly, bleeding. And I understood that if we will leave him there, he will die. And then the troops said, Noam, can you take them back to the hospital with your jeep? My mission was to go to Nahal Oz, but I knew that if I will leave this guy there, he's going to die. And he was fighting with me, for me. I put those 3 on the jeep. I rushed back to Mefalsim, where Gali was in the shelter. I asked Gali to get out. I told her, Gali, take the jeep, evacuate them, please, to the hospital. And she said, I will do it, but please go back to Nahal Oz. And I said, this is my mission. So this brave lady was driving alone with 3 wounded soldiers all the way to Ashkelon. She did something smart, and she texted Amir, Dad is on his way. And this gave him a lot of hope, because they were sitting more than 8 hours alone in the dark with 2 young kids that need to be quiet, terrorists all over, shooting, they shoot into the house, etc. And then I look, how will I go to Nahal Oz? And then I saw another vehicle, private vehicle. I opened the door, and there was a good friend by the name of Israel Ziv. He is another retired general. He was my commander in the paratroopers. And we are a very good friend. He has a pistol, just like myself at the beginning. Now I had an M16. I told him, Israel, can you take me to Nahal Oz? And he said, jump. And I said, Israel, you have to be aware. This is very dangerous. I'm just coming from an incident with, soldiers got killed. He said, no, come. And this is friendship on the highest rank. He was willing to risk his life for me, for my family. So we were driving again. We are the only vehicle on the road, all the way to the enter to Nahal Oz. We saw the soldiers that I left. They were in a different point. We said, come with us. I didn't want to leave them alone there. And when we were at the entrance to Nahal Oz, basically forces, brave paratroopers and brave Maglan unit came to the region. And there were two missions there. One was the military post that was occupied by Hamas, and we had many casualties there, and one the kibbutz. So I said goodbye to Israel. He went to other places, and I joined the force that entered kibbutz Nahal Oz. Basically, when we enter the kibbutz, I stopped them. There are young troops, and I said, listen to me. I have a lot of experience how to fight in such an area. And I explained them how they have to go from one apartment to another apartment. And that we have to be totally sure that we clean the area from terrorists, because the most dangerous thing is that they will shoot us from the behind. And they split to two forces. I went with one, the other got to the other side of the kibbutz. And basically it took us about an hour to go to the neighborhood of my son. And I saw the house. We did, we continue the searching on every house, where people were locked in the safe room, in the security room. They were alive. Most of them know me because my son lived there for many years. And then I this is the moment of my life. I came to my son's house. I knocked on the armor window of the security room, and I said, "Amir, I'm here." And he said that, my granddaughter, Galia, said, "Grandpa is here." And, I get into the house. The soldiers continue to search. We killed, between seven more terrorists inside the kibbutz. Around my son's house, there were 5 bodies of terrorists with RPG, and also a body of a brave Israeli soldier that got killed. So they were on the porch of my son's house. I hugged them. I was happy. I sent a text to my wife that they are alive. This was this was something. Anyhow, but, we cleaned the kibbutz from the terrorists, and in the evening, we evacuated more than 300 people from the kibbutz to outside of Nahal Oz.